Hello friends, and welcome to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and today I am going to be answering the question, WTF STH. Now, the reason I am asking this question is because we obviously have Stormtrooper Han for the monthly login character for the month of March, and it was interesting that they held this information from us until the very last day. I don't believe I got the information until March 1st. Maybe it came out February 28th, but I feel like they were probably a little busy. But I don't think that things are done like this without purpose. And I think everything in the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes game is meant to be done with purpose. Now, there's bugs, there's stuff that comes up, and I get that. But I do think that we were given Stormtrooper Han for a reason. What reason? I'm going to speculate wildly about that in this video. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with my speculation videos, this is a speculation video. Keep that in mind. What we are going to be looking at is the very first thing we're looking at is why we're obviously not getting it. So the obvious reason why Han was given to us, or obviously not the reason why Han was given to us. The second thing are possible things that could stem from this, or what this could possibly mean. The third thing that we're going to be talking about is really characters that would stem from a new Han or from this Han and so on and so forth. First thing that I want to say, the obvious reason we're getting Stormtrooper Han is not because he's excellent in the Sith Triumvirate raid. We have seen that while he is excellent in the Sith Triumvirate raid, that is clearly not the reason why we're getting him, because he's getting nerfed for that. The raid itself is getting a soft nerf, if you would call it. Maybe it's a hard nerf. I don't necessarily know, but there's definitely some issues that are coming from this, and I honestly don't believe that we're getting this Stormtrooper Han as a, hey, here's a hint on how to use, on which character to use in which phase. I don't think that's it at all. Now, Stormtrooper Han is viable in a lot of different areas. He was great, probably continues to be great in the tank raid. He's solid in, he has had his day in the spotlight in Arena. He's good with a number of other Rebel characters. He's good on a number of teams that don't include Rebels. He's a great character. So that could be one reason why we're getting him, but clearly we're not getting him because he's good in the Sith Triumvirate raid. Strike that from your minds, black it out, redact it from your memory banks. That's not why we're getting him. It was great while it lasted, and for those of you who were able to complete a heroic with him, I bet you had a lot of fun. But yeah, that's not why. Now, there are a few things that could potentially, that enter into the realm of possibility, and this is really the second focus of my video today, as I mentioned earlier. And really what this comes down to and revolves around is reworks. Now, we know that characters are going to get a rework. Now, Stormtrooper Han did get a rework. He was able to get a Zeta, and that was able to help him. And you know, that's actually part of the reason why he's so effective in the Sith Triumvirate raid. I do think that not only Han, but other scoundrels do need reworks. We haven't seen a real rework for old Chewie, OG Chewie. We haven't seen one for Boba Fett. Really, we saw one a couple of years ago, and that may have been the rework that they were giving. I don't think that it was. I still think that a solid rework is going to be in effect sometime soon, maybe in a couple of weeks, maybe in a couple of months. I would be shocked if we went through the entire 2018 year without a scoundrel/bounty hunter rework. Now, part of the reason why I think that is obviously because everyone else has gotten love, and we know that every character in the Star Wars universe or in the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes roster will get some form of love. Stormtrooper Han may have gotten his already, and that's possible. But if you look at like Newt Gunray, if you look at Mob Officer, if you look at a ton of the other characters, they still need some additional work. They still need some more help, and I think that giving them some additional love would be nice, and has to be coming eventually. Now, the other area of rework outside of the character rework, outside of the scoundrel rework that has to be coming sooner, hopefully sooner rather than later, is maybe a ship rework. Now, it's been a little over a year, I think, maybe a year and a half since we've gotten ships, since they've been introduced to the game. And while, you know, it's some aspects of the ship arena have been changed, I think that there's more that they could be doing to really incorporate the ships into the game. I don't think that they've made that a top priority as of yet. Now, we don't know that. I mean, right now their top priority is fixing the Sith raid. But really, I think that as far as the development side of things goes, I do think that we will eventually see some kind of ship rework or some kind of additional resource or additional use for ships. When Territory Wars came in, that was, we could use our ships. When Territory Battles came in, we needed ships. When they introduced the Dark Side Territory Battles, it all kind of plays out. And I do think that they will start to play more of an importance or more of a role in this game than they have previously. And there could be any number of things. I personally would love to see a light side, dark side ship, leveling area where you get your ships, you use whichever ships would be the most effective or whichever ships you want. I would love to see that introduced to the game. Will we, won't we? I don't know. I think it would make a cool component to this, but whether we get it or not, I don't know. I have heard speculation. Now, this is clearly just a rumor. I want to highlight that. Can't highlight that enough. A ship heist? I mean, that would be awesome. If you guys haven't read the Lando comics that came out, I think, 2 years ago, it's like a 5-part mini-series. Lando and Lobot go and steal, like, Palpatine's ship. It's a really funny, really cool comic. It's, really fun. Look into it. What's neat is, I think with the Lando, or the Han Solo movie, and the Lando Han Solo book that's coming out, I think we're going to be getting more and more information about those two. Obviously, it's Han Solo's backstory. It's the stuff that wasn't completely lost or completely... It's essentially his story that's reworked. I do think that we're going to get something like some new ships with the movie. Now, think about this. It's March now. By the time you get all of the free character pieces, the daily login pieces, it'll be April, obviously, because it's a month of login character. Once you get all of Stormtrooper Han, we have about a month and a half left until the Solo movie comes out. I think that we're going to start seeing an introduction of characters, probably towards the end of April, the beginning of May, definitely, that will introduce these characters. Now, if you remember, in the Episode 7, they didn't really launch a ton of characters super early or like really early before the film, but they gave us a little bit of information. They gave us, I think it was like a month before the film, December, maybe even November, we got our first characters. And we definitely got our first look at those characters when Episode 7 came out. Now, when Rogue One came out, however, Rogue One really started throwing characters at us right off the bat. It was like August, September, when we first got those new characters. Now, this is really, I don't know. I'm excited to see what this looks like. I'm actually, because of Rogue One's greatness, I'm excited for Solo. Whether it pans out or not, I don't know. Whether it'll be good or not, I don't know. But what I'm saying is, we could see characters as early as next month, just to hype us up. And if that's the case, if they're introducing scoundrels as early as next month, it would be a great opportunity for them to rework the scoundrels as early as next month. Whether that's what's on the books or whether that's what's in the cards, I don't know. But that would be a really smart idea, because then you can cross-promote Solo. You can then cross-promote the book that's coming out shortly before Solo. I really think that it's a solid idea. They've done it in the past. It's possible that they could be doing it with this. Now, depending on a lot of the stuff that's been going around with the Solo marketing, I don't know. That's really my hesitation here. I mean, here we are. It was the Super Bowl was the first time we saw a solo clip, right? That's really late to introduce, in my mind at least. Maybe it's not, but it seemed really late to introduce such a big, potentially blockbuster-ish movie. And if they don't have faith in it to be launched earlier, I don't know. I really worry about that. There are definitely some red flags for me, but as far as this game goes, we could potentially see new characters and we could potentially see them early. Now, with the new movie coming out, I do think that we are going to finally be getting our 5th Han. And I know you guys are so excited for 5 Hans. You are stoked like I am to run that 5 Han team. I know, because I am so happy to see what that's going to look like. Very excited. But with that, I want to introduce you to my 3rd segment for this. What would a 5th Han look like? Now, I have 3 options for you to choose from, or 3 potential options that I think may end up on the table. Now, 2 of these are clearly sarcastic. Please note that sarcasm is heavily implied here. And now it's not even being implied, it's being stated. The first of which I am going to call Holy Han. Now, Holy Han would be essentially Veteran Han, and it would be his rework. Now, one of the things that his rework would do would be anytime Holy Han is killed by Kylo Ren, if Veteran Chewie is in the squad, he immediately gains invincibility, which is kind of like that fearsome foe ability that all heroic tanks have, right? He becomes enraged, and all attacks are insta-kills. This would be a really fun ability. Now, the other thing, too, is I think he would have some kind of, when he died, instead of just, like, dying, he'd probably have to, like, blow up because, you know, the Death Star, Starkiller Base blew up. I don't know. I think there would be some really awesome opportunities for animations with this. I think maybe if that Han died, he could just slowly, like, look shocked. They could introduce one animation for the character, kind of like a finish him type move for Kylo and Han just kind of shockingly falls over. That would be really cool. Probably not going to happen. Probably not. We don't necessarily know. Now, the second ability, or the second character that I would like to introduce, and this is what I really have my fingers crossed for. This is what I call Carbonite Han. Now, if you've listened to me, if you've listened to any of the times I've appeared on Cheat Code Visa, you know that Carbonite Han is the Han that I want. He is the Han that, and what I want Carbonite Han to do is really nothing. I want him to have an incredibly low speed, like 10, right? But if he does attack, if he can attack, and there are some characters that give 100% turn meter, right? I want him to attack as if he were just a picture frame falling on people. I think that would be hilarious. Like, just fall over, crush your enemy, get back up, right? Fall over, crush your enemy, get back up. That would just be awesome in my mind. I think it would be great. The Han that I think that we will get is the Han that I am titling #NotMyHan. Now, there were a number of great potential actors who could have played Han Solo in this movie. I won't get into that. But the young Han Solo is not Harrison Ford. And he's going to have to do some great stuff to win me over. That's not true. He won't have to do hardly anything. I'll probably love the movie because I'm a pushover. But I'm calling him Not My Han. And he's essentially just going to be kind of a weak pilot who has a lot of random synergies with young Chewie, who's probably going to be introduced, and young Lando, who's probably going to be introduced, and that one weird robot that just happens to be in there. Although, that would be kind of shocking because, from what I understand, Han doesn't like robots. I don't know. Or droids. I don't see that, right? And then the guy that Woody Harrelson. And I do want Woody Harrelson introduced to the game, not as, like, his character in the Star Wars universe. I want Woody Harrelson as a playable character in the game. I think that would be awesome. I think it would be amazing. Maybe what would be cool is like you could switch out, like his ability would be like switch different skins, right? And so then he puts on the skin from his Zombieland performance, right? He puts on the skin from his, I don't know, like 2012 performance or whatever, right? Whatever Woody Harrelson's greatest lines or roles are. I feel like I'm missing out with the movie Kingpin, right? How awesome would it be to have a one-handed bowler being able to attack in this game? I think that would just be really sweet. But what do you think? Why do you think that we're getting Stormtrooper Han for the monthly login character for March? I think it is clear they're going to be doing something involving either Scoundrels or to promote the solo movie that's coming out in May. It just makes the most sense, but what do you guys think? Leave a comment in the section below. Like, subscribe, share this video, and as always, my friends, stay nerdy.